This episode of The Gamer and the Noob is brought to you by The Switch Bit. Check out The Switch Bit on YouTube for gaming, music, and more.
I can game with you, play when we want to. I can game with you, the gamer and the noob. I can play with you, game when we want to. I can play with you, the gamer and the noob.
Welcome to The Switch Bit. My name is Sam. I'm the gamer.
I'm Steph. I'm the noob.
She is. So this is a podcast all about gaming from my perspective, the perspective of a gamer, and her perspective, the perspective of the noob, the non-gamer.
The newbie.
The newbie. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience or history with video games, and then I'll let her kind of talk about her experience with video games throughout her life. Kind of give you an idea of what we're like. So I've been playing games since I was 5 years old. Hardcore Nintendo fan. NES. Not much the Super Nintendo. Sega Genesis myself. N64 is one of my favorite systems. GameCube, Dreamcast, PS1. Right now, heavily into the Switch. All of the Switch bits. But yeah, I've been playing games a lot. It's part of my identity. I collect video games. I know video games in and out. I study video game developers, like people like worship like music artists and, you know, movie directors and stuff. So I'm hardcore into it. And my fiance, Steph, she plays games sometimes. Not like I do. But I'll let her talk a little bit about her history with video games.
I'm a casual gamer. I played The Sims on the computer when I was growing up. I remember having a Sega, but I would play a few games and then not be able to get past a level and then set it down and never pick it up again because I didn't know what to do. Sam has recently gotten me into the Switch.
Yep.
And it's become quite the event lately. There's a particular game that I haven't been able to put down.
Yeah. What game?
It's called Ding Dong XL.
Ding dong. So I got her a Switch Lite for her birthday. Was your birthday? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I really just got it for her because it came out and it was the Pokemon one, and like I really wanted to play Switch with her, and I wanted her to kind of like be a part of my world. She'd mentioned about doing it previously, you know, as a birthday gift for me. So I just kind of did it, and Ding Dong's like the easiest game to get into. It's not a Nintendo game, but it follows that Nintendo model of easy to pick up and play. Anybody can pick up and play it because it's so simple, but like there's a lot of nuanced things to like master, you know. So if you want to like play it on the next level, that other level, you have that opportunity to do so. And so it's just a one button game, honestly.
That's what you said the first time you wanted me to play it.
Yeah, it just takes one button.
You said, hey, I have a game that I want you to play, and all it takes is one button. And I said, no, I'm not going to be good. I don't want to try it. And you said, listen, it's just one button. One button. I was like, okay, let me see you play it. And that's how it started.
Yeah, straight up. It's like, takes one, it's like a gateway game.
It is.
You know?
It very much is. Your mom played it one time.
That's true. Like, was it for my birthday party? We had people
Yes.
of all walks and ages like playing it, like just hooked on it, honestly.
10 people standing around a TV, one person holding the controller, and everybody was like rooting that person on, cheering. And then like we had to fight to make some people play by the rules, and when they died, pass the controller.
Because it's like that, you know, one more game.
Yes, very much.
100%.
Very much so.
Yeah.
I can do better. Let me try one more time.
So up until recently, there was one game mode. That's all it was. It's a 99-cent game on Switch from Nickervision. But yeah, you hit one button, you bounce back and forth, and you're just trying to avoid geometric shapes coming from you left and right. And that's what it was.
And accumulate power-ups.
Yeah, you get power-ups and different power-ups that help. And it's all about high scores. And the low high scores, like my highest score is 209. What's your highest score?
I think on the solo version it was 281 or 283.
Right. She beat me. I couldn't beat her, like straight up. I mean, she got to the point. Now, granted, if you look at time played, I'd put like, you know, if you look on the Switch, it's like over 5 hours time played. She'd put like, what, 30 hours into it? Something like that. Because she plays it like whenever she's putting our daughter to sleep or whatever, you know, she's playing that a lot more than me. But she's definitely, I mean, I cannot touch her scores in solo mode. But last week they came out with an update that added 2 more modes, a dual mode and then a infinity mode. And we're pretty even keel on the dual mode. Like almost like, they added leaderboards too. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're like completely even on the leaderboards. We're both tied for like number 4. These are out of everybody who plays it on the Switch too. We're tied for number 4 out of everybody who plays this game.
On dual mode.
On dual mode. I'm number 1 out of everybody who plays the game. Let me say again. I'm number 1 out of everybody that plays the game on infinity mode. And you're like, what, 3rd? Or
I'm number 2 on the solo mode.
Number 2 on solo mode, and I'm like 7 or something like that. So, I mean, like, we're high up there. We love this game. We play this game a lot. So that's kind of like what we've been playing together. Like, this morning we were both in bed just playing that game next to each other.
Talking trash to each other.
Yeah, for sure. That's the fun of it. Like,
yeah.
You know.
Well, and it's one of those games that, like he said, I can be helping my daughter get to sleep while she's laying down in her bed. The room is completely dark, and I can have the screen on the lowest brightness, sound all the way down, and so I'm there in case she needs me, but at the same time, like, I can occupy my mind more than just staring into blank space.
Right, and you can pick it up, play for 5 minutes, put it down. 2 minutes, whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Easy to pick up, easy to put down.
Are there
Well,
any?
kind of.
Yeah.
In theory.
One more game.
One more game.
But are there any other Switch games that you've enjoyed playing since you got your Switch Lite a few months ago?
You bought me the Harry Potter Lego game for Christmas.
Yep.
And that's been a lot of fun. The problem is I don't know how to navigate certain games like that. Like, I get more enjoyment, or I guess I get more understanding of that game whenever I play with you.
Kinda.
Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because I find out how much there is to do in that game and how little I know. But also when you play, like, you just kind of play how you would play.
Yeah.
And don't, like, fully explain things. So I end up just, like, being your sidekick.
Tag along.
I'm just tagging along.
And this isn't the first time, like, so...
It's not.
It's not the first time that she's expressed that frustration with me, because, you know, I've been playing games for so long that you just know
those
like
things
what
are
to
obvious
do.
To you.
Yes, yeah, they're completely obvious. So like Harry Potter, Stardew Valley is another game that we were playing together because they have the online mode now, and like she expressed like, well, I need direction. And that's a game that's like notoriously doesn't have a direction, but like at this point in her gaming career experience or whatever you want to call it, she needs that direction of like, let's do this for this day. Let's do this for this day. Otherwise, it's just me doing something, or I'm not giving her enough instruction, and then that miscommunication. Because if I was playing with somebody else that was like a gamer, they would be perfectly fine doing whatever they do. So I have a hard time like kind of tempering down and explaining that stuff to her, like what to do.
Yeah, that's another game I felt like a tag along in, because you seemed like you were on a mission all the time.
Yeah.
Of, okay, we got to plant these crops, and okay, we got to water them. Now we got to build a fence around them.
Right.
And the only meaningful thing I could find to do was like cut down trees and crush rocks.
And eventually those all disappear.
Yeah, and I was done, and you told me to stop, and I'm like, well, what now? You know, and then like, oh, go to the mines. And so I would, you know, start going to the mines, and then I got to a certain level, and you're like, well, why did you do that? Why did you go there? And I was like, I don't know. I literally don't know.
Yeah. That's kind of it's difficult for me to like, I guess, I don't know. It's just so easy to me. It's just like second nature. I remember
in that Harry Potter game, and it was this hallway basically where it had these little, not tentacles, but they were like little green like ropes that you couldn't pass, basically. And I had been walking by those things forever, and I'm like, well, I can't get by, and I don't, you know, I mean, obviously I tried to do something in order to make them move so I could pass, because I knew that there was an area over there I needed to access. And I tried everything. I thought everything. And then, like, that one time that I played with you, you walked right up to it, and I still, to this day, don't know what you did, but you opened it and just waltzed in like you owned the place. And I was like, what just happened? Like, what have I been missing out on? So, there's that.
Yeah.
And with that particular game, I start just, like, walking around in circles, because it gives you some direction and teaches you, and there's obviously places it wants you to be, but I have trouble figuring out what that is and when it is, and I don't know.
Yeah. But that's not to say, like, she's actually really good at Yoshi's Crafted World.
Oh my gosh, I love that game.
Yeah. So that was the game, that's the first game I actually ever bought for her. Like the day it came out. We played the demo of it. And I've never really played a Yoshi game, really. But we played the demo of it together because, I want her to be a part, and she wants to be a part of, like, gaming with me, because that's such a big part of my life. And she, like, was like immediately like, I have to have this as soon as it comes out. And so she's played that all the way through to completion. Not 100% though, right?
Right.
Why haven't you been playing that lately?
I don't want it to end.
Oh.
So if I save a little bit, that it's not over.
There's a lot of it.
I know. I went back and started playing the levels again, just to, try to become, like, complete everything.
Yeah.
Get all the points and whatever. That was a game that I just adore. It helps that, like, I'm really into crafting, and that was, it was just cute and right up my alley, but also challenging.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's also, like, a very low demand kind of game if you want it to be.
Right.
But then there are certain levels where I was like, oh my gosh, like, scared and terrified. And then, like, others, I've got that adrenaline rush of there's this fish that's chasing me and I can't get away and whatever. Anyway.
And it's a good game that we could play together, because you can be doing your two separate things. You share the same screen, but at any time, she can just jump on my back, or I can jump on her back, and one person controls the character and the other person, like, controls the eggs or whatever. So it actually is, like, kind of like a seamless, true cooperative experience where you have to communicate and, like, do things together. So, but she's, like, way better and further than me in that game. Like, I think as far as, like, figuring out puzzles and stuff, I think just innately I'll be better, because I've had 30 years of experience doing that within the video game realm. She's better at doing, like, physical puzzles in the real world.
Like that one time
in Mexico. but what,
we won a competition.
That's true. Yeah, we won a nice bottle of tequila. But, like, understanding the rules that the developers or the constructs of the video game, like, understanding those puzzles within a video game realm, like, I know what's possible and what's not possible, or, like, what the cliches are in the video game, like the tropes are, and, like, oh, well, it's obvious to me, like, this key needs to unlock this door. To her, that's not obvious, because she hasn't spent enough time in that yet. But
I remember
it's becoming better there.
Maybe. I don't know. I remember the first time I watched you play a type of puzzle game, and you were some character in this dungeon type atmosphere, and I remember you said, okay, how do I get out of this? And I was like, I don't know. Can you jump over the wall? And you were like, the room's about to fill with water. I have to get out of this. How do I do it? And I said, I don't know. You're trapped. You're trapped in a room. There's no door. I don't know. And you're like, come on, think. How do you get out of this? And I was like, I don't know. And then, like, all of a sudden you just lift up the wall. And I'm like, how am I supposed to know you can lift up a stone wall? Anyway.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Stuff like that. There's a couple other games we play on the Switch, too. As we're talking about our history now. Two big ones there's Death Squared.
Oh my gosh.
There's Overcooked.
Fun. Oh, Overcooked.
So there's, like, a lot where I feel like we're
yeah.
So Overcooked is a game, we have talked about, like, on the YouTube channel and stuff, but it's a game that we really enjoy playing for brief periods.
In small amounts.
So, there's another game, too, that fits that category called Snipper Clips.
Oh, Lord.
That was the first game we played together on the Switch. And that was earlier in our relationship, and somehow we were able to, like, manage past it, because...
It's therapy right there.
Yeah. Like, different than Overcooked. I mean, they're both cooperative games, but Snipper Clips, you have to, like... it's the same thing. Like, duh, we just got to move over here. In my mind, we got to move over here and jump here. And you're like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Plus, you have the motion controls involved and all this stuff. So it requires you to verbally communicate back and forth to be a successful cooperative team. And we did it. We beat the game.
Yeah.
It was short.
There's certain levels where we can't get through it unless we communicate and are in the right spot.
Yes.
Which I think was challenging for you to verbalize, because if you had been playing with anybody else that typically plays games, you could have been like, get over there, and that was all you would have to say. But when it's me, you have to be a lot more specific in the moment.
Well, to make you feel better, I played with Colt, aka Nice and Crispy, and like I was straight up yelling at him because he's played games just as long as I have, and I'm like, you have to. But I felt like I could be a little more vocal towards him, like, Colt, I just quit the demo. We quit the demo. But with you, I was like, we definitely you got frustrated with me. I don't feel like I got super frustrated with you. But I feel like you got more frustrated with me because I wasn't, like, you thought I expected you to know things. And I did. I mean, I wasn't thinking about it. So I think that helped in certain aspects of our relationship too, though, Like, me understanding to be, like, more empathetic to certain situations. Especially if they're ones that I'm familiar with and you're not,
I think you have a lot of empathy. Yeah. I think it's just an assumption.
Right.
I don't think it's so much empathy because you're very good at that. You seek that in trying to figure out where my headspace is and all of that. But, just like the verbal communication of, okay, this is our plan. This is how we do it.
Yeah.
Are you on the same page?
Well, even when we're moving furniture in real life, it's been like that.
Yeah.
It's like,
true.
You're like, you expect me to know, like, to do it. And I was like, have you never moved a couch before?
No.
It's just how you're like, oh, okay, well, crap, I didn't realize that.
Right.
And then cue Overcooked.
Oh, gosh.
The Overcooked is like...
Love, hate.
Yeah, love, hate. I mean, I love the game.
I do, too.
What's the most we've ever played? Like, maybe 2 hours? Something like that. If that.
I don't think 2 hours.
After about an hour, we got to stop and get a drink.
Yeah.
Is basically what, like, that's when we start to, like, raise our voices. But not like in an angry way, just like I'm frustrated way.
It's a little angry.
Well,
it's like,
it gets there.
Well, yeah, we typically quit at the time that we're like, okay, I'm getting angry, let's stop.
Self-preservation, though.
Yeah.
Like,
it's so much fun, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some levels on there that are so hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's that communication thing again. Like, you can't complete it without your teammate. And I just remember, like, when I think of Overcooked now, I think of that one magical night when
Chris and Corey?
Yes, when we played with another couple of really great friends of ours.
Who have never played it before.
And
also, one's a gamer and one's,
Yeah,
kind of not
gamer
really.
and the noob kind of thing again.
Yeah.
And we handed them these controllers and we let them play. And it was fun to see them have the exact same like timeline
struggle
as us. It was like they start up and they're like, oh, this is fun.
Oh, babe, do this. Babe, yeah, you got this. Get the fish.
It starts off all nice. They're like, where's my hamburger patty? I'm chopping lettuce. What are you doing? I need clean dishes.
Yeah.
But then it's like there was this one magical game where the four of us are playing all at once. And it was just like we all fell silent for minutes, and I mean it was the smoothest game of Overcooked.
And it was a hard one too, because it was hard. It was one you would normally have to. I feel like you'd have to communicate a lot because conveyor belts and everything.
We played that level several times, and the first several times was a train wreck. We were all yelling at each other. I need this. Well, you're supposed to be doing this. Whatever. But then there was that one magical thing where everything just fell into place perfectly. We were all doing it.
We didn't talk at all.
It was silent. That's never happened again.
No, we were like the four not silentest people. What is it? Least silent people. Me and Chris and Corey.
Yeah, I'm a little quiet.
Yeah, that was definitely Zen-like. So are there any Switch games or video games in general that you're looking forward to? Do you know of any games coming out?
No.
None?
Mm-mm.
None at all?
I was going to talk about that VR game that you were so excited for me to play, and I didn't even play the whole level.
Which one?
That fighter jet one thing.
Yeah.
You were so excited for me to play that, and I just absolutely hated it.
Yeah. Well, that's another, like, but the main reason you didn't like it, I feel like, is because you had no idea where the buttons were in the controller.
Right. Well, because, yeah.
I mean, you can't see the controller, so it's not like you can look down and know L1, L2, you know, so I'm telling you
those are foreign concepts to me.
Yeah.
And so whenever you were saying, like, press L1, or the game is telling me to press this, do this,
no.
and I'm like, I don't know what you're saying to me. Yeah, that was not cool. I just took the headset off and walked away.
Yeah, she definitely did not enjoy that. Like, because to me, it's like the proverbial VR experience. It's the one that I'm going to show everybody for the first time. It's the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare Jackal Assault demo. It's free on the PSN network. But yeah, in my opinion, like, it's the best. I mean, it's amazing. I played it like 5 times in a row, and I was like, you've got to play this. And she played, I mean, within 20 seconds. She's like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it was seconds.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was yelling at me, you were yelling, you know, to like help me.
She was wearing a headset. I wasn't yelling. I was just saying it loudly enough so that she could.
Yeah, I mean, you have to wear headphones. You weren't like yelling, angry. You were just like trying to help me insistently. and I just did not understand the words that were, you know, coming at me. So I was like, forget it. Yeah. I'm done.
But you liked, what is it called? The Robo game? Astrobot?
Astrobot, yeah.
That uses all the same buttons, but it doesn't like tell you. Like, you just figure it out through playing. It's
more of just like, you can still see your controller at certain points,
right.
And it would educate me before the level started. This is what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And then during the level, it would show me how to do the thing it was about to ask me to do.
Gotcha.
Then I could, like, learn by doing it. Because I'm a very visual learner.
Yeah. Yeah, that game does a really good job of all of that. I haven't even played it, though. I've watched you play like 3 levels. I've played like one little bit of a level.
Yeah.
So I really want to play that. I want to play a lot of the VR games, honestly.
Yeah.
And we need to do that. Like Beat Saber.
Yeah.
That's a game anybody can play.
I really want to get back into that one.
Yeah. That's a good one. Okay, so you don't know any games that are coming up at all. All right. So this year, these are the games that I'm excited about. Well, I'll just say like the major releases or the possible major releases that are coming out. So in March, Animal Crossing is coming out. Do you know anything about Animal Crossing?
No.
Okay, so this would probably be a game that people are listening to this would say is right up your alley. I would say it's right up your alley if you're not a hardcore gamer, because there's no like strict gaming concepts involved with it. I'm trying to think of games you've played. So think of Sims, which you were really hardcore into Sims back in the day.
Yeah,
right? Like
I was addicted.
You like lost, probably you didn't eat,
sleep,
and you skipped meals and did the whole thing. The people doing the game.
I would start playing it too, and then I would be like, what time is it?
And how old were you?
I was in high school. It would be like, you know, summer. In between high school years or something. I would look up thinking it was probably 5:30 and it's 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What just happened?
Yeah.
It was as if I had gone into the computer and just stopped existing because I didn't look around. I didn't move. I don't know. Something weird happened.
So Animal Crossing is a game that originally came out on the GameCube. There's been iterations on the DS, the 3DS. Am I saying foreign concepts to you right now? DS, 3DS?
I know that those are game terms.
Okay. Well, yeah, the DS
Those are systems?
Yeah, so there's the Game Boy. You know the Game Boy, right?
I've heard of it.
Well,
It's a handheld device.
In like the 80s, early 90s. And then there was the Game Boy Advance, which came out. It was like the sequel to that. It was more powerful games. After the Game Boy was the Nintendo DS, which stood for dual screen. And then there was the 3DS that came out in like 2012 or something like that. So, but there's been from DS, 3DS, GameCube, Nintendo Wii, Wii U kind of had a Animal Crossing, but the Switch is getting Animal Crossing in March.
That one game has been on all of those?
Different sequels and versions of it, yeah. And I've tried several of them, and I can't get into it. And it's like a phenomenon. People love it. People are like clamoring for this game. Hardcore gamers, casual, everybody loves this game. And it's like Sims and Stardew Valley, kind of, you know. You have this island or this town or this village, and you're just going cleaning it up, doing little quests for the villagers, making things your own way, and trying to like unlock new carpet designs. I mean, just like that kind of stuff. It's not like you're shooting anybody or, you know, doing any of these like typical like Mario type stuff. It's just, of course, there's like online portions of it where you can do that with people, and I think that makes it more enticing. You know, you can get online and you can share a town and chop down trees and get all this. Anyways, you're building towards creating a better village and better house and all this stuff. That's not my kind of game, except for Stardew Valley, which I freaking love. But there's also combat and all this other stuff. But people love it. I think that might be up your alley. Maybe if there's like a demo, you can check that out. Other games that are coming out this year are maybe Bayonetta 3. Are you familiar with that?
No.
Okay. Metroid Prime 4. You familiar with that?
No.
Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2.
I know how much you played Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know you were really into that.
Yeah, there's another one coming out. It might not be this year. I heard it got delayed. Actually, there were some rumors that just came out like within the last like 8 hours of possible. It's from 4chan. You know what 4chan is?
I've heard of it.
Okay, it's just a website, like a forum where like a lot of like leaks come out of, but you got to take it with huge grains of salt. But some of them are completely accurate. But it gave some gameplay kind of concepts of what they say, like leaks, you know. But who knows if it's actually true, kind of. But I won't bore you with that. But I'm really excited for it. Okay. I cannot wait because I love the first one so much, and anything Zelda's pretty much amazing in my eyes. Dang, I should have a list of games that are coming out soon. Resident Evil 3, huh?
No, thank you.
You know about it?
No.
Oh, okay, that's a pivotal moment in my life was Resident Evil, so you'll have to learn that.
Is it anything like that VR game? Or is
that Resident Evil 7? Yeah.
That's probably the most recent time I've heard you scream.
So it's different. It's a remake of a game from the 90s that like I played when I was like 12, 13, 14. So it's not, it's like zombies. It's not as weird and disturbing as that, for sure. But okay, Last of Us?
No.
You need to play Last of Us 1. Just the first 20 minutes. Oh my gosh.
Why?
Well, so Naughty Dog is the developer who creates... Yeah, I know, it's a weird name, right? So you've heard of Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah.
Okay, so Naughty Dog...
I played that for a little bit.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
On the PlayStation?
I think so. My aunt had a console, and that was, I think, how she enticed me to come visit.
How old are you?
I don't know. 8?
Oh, okay.
I have no idea.
Gotcha.
Somewhere around there. I was young.
So Naughty Dog is a developer. So in the video game world, you have publishers and developers. Publishers are like producers of movies, and developers are like directors, I guess you could say. So you have teams of, and this one's called Naughty Dog. They make Crash Bandicoot. Well, PlayStation 3, they started making more cinematic games. There's some other games that happened in between, but they started with Uncharted. Have you heard of that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so there's been 4 Uncharted so far, plus like, some side stuff. And then Last of Us, and that's like, they're just known for being very cinematic. Last of Us is a very cinematic game. It's a post-apocalyptic game about surviving after basically a zombie apocalypse.
What if that would appeal to you?
Yeah, right. It's like
everything.
Honestly, I enjoy the storyline of Naughty Dog games.
If I want Sam to pay attention to anything that I have to say, I have to start with post-apocalyptic.
Oh yeah, you'll have my attention immediately.
Yeah. Stop what you're doing. What are you talking about?
Yeah. What? So you'll probably stop me. I just love it. Or yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Okay. Zombies. Okay.
I apologize. I interrupted you.
No, you're fine. So basically, they're very cinematic games. Their gameplay to me is not the best. I know I might get some flack for that, but I know other people agree. And it's not like it's bad gameplay. It's just the same thing you're doing at the beginning of the game. 20 hours later, you're doing the same thing at the end of the game. There's not a whole lot of evolution within the game. And you play a game like Mario Odyssey, where like every 10 minutes it feel like they're incorporating brand new gameplay ideas. You know, you go to a game like that, it's more driven by the cinematics, the story, the atmosphere, the voice acting, all that stuff. But anyways, the first 20 minutes are amazing. You have to play it, we'll play it, and then you can come back on here and we can talk about it, because it's really cool. It's like a super emotional way to kick off a game, and I never felt that before that game, never once. And a lot of people were like you can do this in games, really? You know, something that you thought was more about movies, you know, being able to convey like emotions and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to say too much to give it away. But anyways, that's coming out soon too. So you literally have no idea any games that are coming out. All right,
How would I know that?
I don't know. Like,
In what capacity would I know that?
Go to a video game website every day. I go to Nintendo Life every morning. Twitter. Follow some game stuff on Instagram. What else do you go to?
I mean, I'm pretty up to date with my e-news.
Okay, so just follow like Chrissy Teigen. She puts video game stuff. You'll be fine.
I haven't seen her put anything video game related up.
Well.
Okay, I will attempt to. I will go find one.
You don't have to, but you know.
No, I'd like to.
All right. Just don't get better at it than me.
I'm already better at it.
God. And with that, I think we're done talking now, right? Like, we have anything else to say today?
No.
All right, cool. Happy hunting, everybody.